Hello guys, I am Shakir Ali and today we will learn how to configure or access SQL Server running on another machine. For demonstration purpose, I have already developed a project, so let's check it. Here I have two computers, one is my laptop and the second one is my desktop computer. I have already installed and configured the SQL Server on my laptop computer. When I save the record here on my laptop computer, this should be also displayed here on my desktop computer. In this situation, the laptop is the server computer and the desktop computer is the client computer. So let's save one record. Press save button, the record is saved successfully. Now press the refresh button on desktop computer. The record should display it here also, right? So now I will enter one record here on my desktop computer. Press the save button, record is saved successfully. Now press the refresh button here on my laptop. The record should be displayed also here. So record is displaying, right? And now refresh the SQL Server. Both records are displaying here. So let's start. So let's create a new project. So we are developing a Windows Form application. Select Windows Form application and give it a meaningful name. I will give it a name Server Demo. Press OK. So this is the sample project which I have already designed and developed. So we will design our form like this. So we need to add some controls here like labels, text boxes, drop down list and grid view control. Text box and one drop down list, comma box. So this will be name and the text box will be txt name. This will be gender and the drop down list will be ddl gender. This will be email address and the text should be, and the text box will be txt email. So increase the font size for better visibility. Fonts and add list item into drop down list. The first list item will be select gender, male, female. So we need to add two buttons, one for saving the record and one for refreshing the grid view. So copy and paste it here. This will be BT and save. Always give the meaningful name to your control. It's a good programming practice. This will be BTN refresh and the text will be refresh. Alright. to add a grid view. Right, let's run it. So we need to select gender option by default. To do this, go to the source code of this form, and below the initialize components, ddl gender dot selected index equal to 0. This will select gender option by default. Alright, now guys, we need to create a database. So flip to SQL Server, right click on the database, create new database, give it a meaningful name to your database. So test proj, and create a new table into test proj database. So guys, I'm not going into detail that how to create table or how to create store procedure, because we are focusing on only the configuration of SQL Server that is running on another machine. Okay, so select the code and execute it. Command completed successfully. Now navigate the tables folder. Table is created. Now we need to create a store procedure to insert users. So this will take 3 parameters, one for name, one for gender, and one for email. So select the code and execute it. Store procedure is created successfully. Now we need to create a store procedure that retrieve the data from the database. So copy the same piece of code and paste it right below. This will be get user. This will not take any parameters, and the query will be select star from tbl users. Refresh the folder here. Get user store procedure is created. Right. So now we will add a connection string to our app.config file. So open app.config file, and I have already typed the connection string, so I just copy and paste it right here. This is the name of the connection through which we can access the connection string. So in the connection string, the data source believe that is the name of my computer. And if you want to find out what is your PC name, so right click on your computer and go to properties. So here you can see your PC name. This is the name of your computer. So write the name of your computer where you want to configure the SQL server, and you can write also the IP address of that computer where you want to install or configure the SQL server. The initial catalog means your database where you want to save your data. This is the user ID. The user ID is SA, means system admin, and this is the password for the system admin, right? So guys, write the exact piece of code into app.config files to avoid any type of error, and this complete project will be available on my GitHub account, link in the description. Now guys, we need to write some ADO.NET code to save data into your database. So double click on save button. First of all, we need to add a reference here. So right click on references, add references, and search for system.configuration file, system.configuration. Select the checkbox and press OK button. Now we will add some namespaces. SQL client, and configuration, right? On button click event, first of all we will access the connection string which is present in app.config file. So create a variable of type string. Write the name of the connection string here, which is con string. So write the name of the store procedure which will insert user into database. So flip to SQL Server. This is the name of the store procedure. So copy and paste it right here. Specify the command type. Command type is store procedure. Open the connection. Specify the command argument parameters. Add with the values. txt name dot text, and this will be the name. Copy the same piece of code. This will be the gender, and the value come from the DDL gender, and this will be the email address, and the value is coming from txt email, right? So now execute the command. So cmd dot execute null query. After this I want to show a successful message here. So message box dot show after saving the data into database. I want to clear the controls, all the controls. So string.empty txt email.text equals string.empty, and ddl gender dot selected index equals to 0. Save the project and run it. So the name is Shakir, and select gender is male. Saved successfully. Now check the database. The data is saving into the table. So now we need to create a method that will retrieve data into the grid view. flip to Visual Studio. I want to show the data in load time into the grid view. So in initialize components, load data, copy the same piece of code, and we are getting the users from the database table, so copy the store procedure that is getting the user, sp get user, paste it right here. After this I haven't assigned any meaningful name, so this is not good. So click on grid view and give it a meaningful name. That's a good programming practice. I'm really sorry for that. So dgv users, so we will use the same method on button click event. So copy the same method and paste it right here. So whenever user press the save button, this will also populate the grid view from the database, and we will use the same method on refresh button. So double click on refresh button and paste it right here. This will refresh the grid view and load the data from the database table. So save the changes and run it once again. Gender is male, mic 8mic.com. Press the save button, record save successfully, and it is showing also in the data grid view, right? So now guys, time to configure the computer for incoming requests. So open SQL Configuration Manager. To do this, open up Start, All Programs, navigate to the Microsoft SQL Server, click on it. In Microsoft SQL Server 2012, click on Configuration Tools and click on SQL Server Configuration Manager. So click on SQL Server Network Configuration, expand it and click on Protocols for Microsoft SQL Server, right? In TCP IP, right click and enable it, press OK button. After this, go to the properties and click on IP addresses and come below here, and all IP addresses TCP port should be 1433, right? Click on apply and press OK. After this, we will add a rule in firewall. So click on start and type wf.msc. This will open the firewall setting. In inbound rules, right click on it and click on new rule. Click on port and click next. Select TCP and select the specific local port. So specify the port number. The port number is here, 1433. Click next. Select allow the connection and click next. Leave the default profile setting here, so click next and specify the name for the rule. So this will be server demo. This is optional, so leave it empty and click finish. Guys, you can visit this web page for further details about how to configure or how to access SQL Server running on another machine. Link in the description. Now guys, you can move this small project to any other computer without database and without installation of SQL Server, and can save data into one local computer. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any problem, comment below, and please rate, comment and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.